They always say you never forget the moment your life changes. For Kelly, it wasn't the loud moments. It wasn't the doctor speaking. It wasn't even the soft hum of the hospital machines. It was his eyes. The way they searched hers, trying to read hope on a face that could barely hold itself together. The MRI results sat in an envelope, white paper carrying a truth too heavy to touch. Mark looked at her gently, almost afraid. And in that quiet moment, her eyes said everything. Fear, love, and a silent prayer that the world would not shift underneath them. Just days before, life had been normal. Morning coffee, warm studio lights, familiar laughter between them as they prepared to start the day. But a small tremor in his hand had changed the rhythm. A brief pause in his speech made her chest tighten. He brushed it off, called it tiredness, maybe stress. Yet Kelly felt something deeper. A whisper inside her heart told her not to look away. Not this time. Then came the doctor's suggestion. Let's just make sure. A harmless sentence loaded with dread. The MRI was booked quietly, without headlines or cameras, just two people trying to hold on to normal in a world built on noise. He squeezed her hand in the waiting room, wanting to be strong. She smiled back, wanting to believe. But inside her chest, fear settled like a weight she could not put down. Something was different, and she felt it. They walked into the room together, but she stood alone as he disappeared behind the white door. The machine hummed, slow and steady, a sound that felt impossible to ignore. Kelly sat with her palms pressed together, fingers trembling, trying not to imagine the worst. She whispered to herself, "Please let this be nothing. Let it just be stressful." When he walked out, Mark tried to smile, but it didn't reach his eyes. He looked tired, like the test had taken more from him than just time. They sat side by side, waiting for the doctor to return, waiting for answers neither of them felt ready for. And then it happened. The doctor walked in holding the results. There was kindness in his voice, but a softness that frightened her. He began to speak slowly, carefully, each word heavy enough to bend the air. She heard phrases like changes in the brain, cognitive function, and further evaluation. Mark listened quietly, his jaw tight, eyes fixed on the floor. Kelly stared at him, willing the world to rewind, to undo this moment. When he finally looked at her, their eyes met, and everything in her heart cracked open. They walked out of the hospital holding hands, but the day felt colder. The world moved around them, cars passing, people talking, life continuing. Yet they walked slowly, like time had slowed for just them. No cameras, no audience, no applause. Just two souls trying to hold each other steady. Mark squeezed her hand again, a little harder than before, like he didn't want to drift away from this moment, from her. He tried to be strong, but she saw the fear sitting behind his smile. Kelly leaned her head against his shoulder. She wanted to cry, but she held it in. Not here. Not yet. It wasn't a final answer. It wasn't a sentence. But it was a beginning, one she never wanted to face. And she knew it. Later, when the house was still, Kelly sat beside him as he slept. She traced her fingers along his hand, as if memorizing every detail. The MRI paper lay folded on the counter, untouched since they came home. She closed her eyes and breathed slowly, trying to be strong. She whispered, "We're going to face this together. I won't let you walk this alone." The night was quiet, but her heart wasn't. For more quiet moments like this, please like, comment, and subscribe to stay connected to their journey.